Now, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, has doubled down his demand for the new Patriotic Party's presidential candidate, Dr. Bawumia, to address critical issues regarding Ghana's economy rather than reflecting or deflecting with useless questions. Speaking at a rally in the Savelugu constituency on Wednesday, former President Mahama criticized Vice President Bawumia's response to his initial economic queries with a list of 50 counter questions. This comes in response to Dr. Bawumia's recent decision to respond to Mr. Mahama's 5 economic questions with his own set of 50 questions. Let's take a look at John Mahama's 5 questions there. And you see the first question there. Why is the exchange rate now 17 cedis to the dollar? That's the first question. And the second is, why has Ghana's debt increased from 120 billion cedis to 767 billion cedis in the past 8 years? The third question, why has inflation risen to 54% under the current administration? Question number 4, why has the government borrowed 42 billion from the Bank of Ghana? The last question from Mahama to Bawumia is, why is he running away from the economy and focusing on digitalization? So these are the 5 questions actually from Mahama. But in response to these questions, Dr. Bawumia posted 50 questions. Let me go through that question, some of them for you. The first one says, can you name any broad-based social intervention policy that you implemented in Ghana as president? And number 2, why did you run advertisements against free SHS? And the third question is, if you think your economic management was so good, how come we experienced more than 4 years of doomsday under your government? And the fourth question is, why did the banking system almost collapse under your government? Why did you cancel teacher training allowances? And so these are 5 questions from Dr. Bawumia as well to Mahama. And he goes on to ask, why did you cancel nursing training allowances? Why did the National Ambulance Service virtually collapse under your government? Why was your government unable to create even a quarter of the jobs that our government has created? How many nurses, teachers, police officers, immigration officers, and service personnel did you recruit as president? These are questions from Dr. Bawumia. Why did you implement a 3-month pay policy for teachers under the government? Why did you cancel the car import duty waiver for teachers and nurses? Why was average agricultural growth under your government 2.9%, less than half what it is under our government? And he goes on to ask, why was industry growth under your government lower than what it is under our government? Questions from Bawumia still. And why do you think our government has constructed 4 times more roads than your government did? Why was overall GDP growth under your government lower than our government? Why did your government have no industrial policy for Ghana? Why do you think our government has constructed 4 times more roads than your government did? And why do you think our government has constructed and is constructing more schools than your government did? Why do you think our government has constructed and is constructing more fish landing sites than your government did? Why do you think our government has constructed and is constructing more courts than your government did? Why do you think our government has constructed and is constructing more public libraries than your government did? So you can get more of these questions from our website, myjoyonline.com. Now, reiterating his 5 questions at Savelugu, Mr. Mahama urged Dr. Bawumia to answer them directly, arguing that they reflect the concerns of ordinary Ghanaians.
When we were in nursery school, we used to learn what they call nursery rhymes. And that one, you just have to learn it by heart. Even when you are sleeping, you should be able to repeat it. So if you remember, ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Then we had Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Those nursery rhymes. I woke up this morning and I saw 50 questions to me. It looks like our vice president has just learned those things in the 50 questions, the way we used to learn Baba, Black Sheep, Humpty Dumpty have sat on the wall. Because I asked you 5 simple questions on the economy. That's all. Simple questions that Ghanaians want you to answer. You go and respond with how many compost plants did you build? How many this did you build? That is not what the issue is in Ghana today. Let me take you down memory lane. In 1992, there was an election in America. It was between Bill Clinton and George Bush Sr. At that time, the American economy was in recession, the way the Ghanaian economy is in crisis today. And people were talking about immigration, talking about all kinds of useless things. You know what the Clinton people said? It is about the economy, stupid. Today, I'm repeating those words. This election is about the economy, stupid. It's not about all those other useless things about who built how many compost plants. Answer the 5 simple questions. And you can't hide behind the debate. You don't need the debate to answer the 5 questions. When you ask Emisata 170 questions, you did not agree to go and debate for him to answer them. Ghanaians are asking you 5 simple questions. Just answer them. Akufo-Addo too, I've given him 2 questions. He should come and answer them. That's all Ghanaians are looking for. You have destroyed the economy. That is the truth. Even if you look at the 50 questions he asked me, he has skillfully avoided the economy. There's nothing about the economy in those 50 questions. And that's why I gave you the 5th question. Why are you running away from economy? Because you were brought in to fix the economy. The economy is in a terrible state. Just answer the 5 questions I have asked you on behalf of the people of Ghana. Simple.
But the president has jammed to the defense of his vice president, challenging the NDC flag bearer to avail himself for a debate. According to him, the only reason the former president is running away from the debate is because he lacks class.
Na so bi wo Ghana ha obetumi edi Bawumia hu adansia I'm saying me na na do dan ko Akufo-Addo me na metumi edi si hu adansia na me nja Ghana ma obi a menim so ontumi nya adwuma no da bi Yakupon emprema me Bawumia mi hu foso bia wo de ho yo bia oni na ye adwuma ena otimi kasa wo de ho kanokre Ghana so dano kuma so papa adwuma so de enye bibia de ma no otimi ye adwuma I'm saying chance be war Jubilee House or no. And I just found 1 or 2 no. Can you me no na esi that's war. Bawumia kania and I me kania. Yeni enda wo. Sanity. Is me bad ma ba be Ghana for. Si e pobia obetumi so adwuma na ma ba be ye a obetumi dia ko anim no. Mahama Bawumia. Mahama say onye debate na enye chira. If you say Bawumia enye ni tipen. Sir. Onye ni class. Me jimi who class people ya Yura Mahama wo mu a Bawumia me who class ko. But the class wa ko aminim. Class bako aminim Yura Mahama ewomu class in 5th time I say 4th Republic 1993 Nkrofo enum ɛna Ghana fo ahyɛ wɔn anuonyam apɛgye wɔn aba bɛtena ebenwa kɛseɛ yɛ konwa kɛseɛ yɛ president konwa no so kɔfo enum.
Now let's go on to Zoom to speak with Dennis Miracles Abuaje, spokesperson for the NPP flag bearer campaign team, as well as Felix Kwachio Fosu, a representative from the NDC flag bearers office. Let me begin with you, Miracles. Why are you running away from answering the simple 5 questions from Mr. Mahama?
Who is setting the questions? Mr. Mahama?
Mr. Mahama.
Who made him the examiner?
Of
when
course.
did anybody in this republic make him an examiner? Especially when he was first requested that he should do the people of Ghana the honors and debate on a neutral platform like the IEA with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and he has been running away. How do you run away from a debate and then you go and stand on the hinges, on the fringes, and then you are asking questions? Come and face Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and ask him the questions right to his face. So I'm surprised you are even reiterating, repeating this weak point of anybody running away from any question. Which question? Is he not the same person that told the vice president to go and be giving the answers to the people and that he should go and debate the people and give them these answers? That's what he's been doing. He's been engaging the people and telling the people and giving them the answers. If he's so minded and he wants answers to these questions, he should ask these questions to his face. In a debate, he will get the answers. How is this so difficult? How is it so difficult for you to come and stand and debate your competitor? Make a point, let him make the point. Why are you running away from it and standing on the fringes and throwing in questions?
So is that to say you can only respond to the former president questions at the debate? It's not a question you can answer him directly?
Why should anybody who or is it because he said he's above all the candidates, so he sets the pace? He's above all the candidates, so he decides that I will not debate, but I will ask you questions that you must answer. Is that the point you are making? And that because all of a sudden he says he has 5 questions, and the vice president is saying that come to me for a debate and I'll give you the answers, we must kowtow to him because he says he's above everybody, and that he even thinks that some people don't deserve to be on the ballot at his level. Is that the point we are making? I think we need to elevate the conversation.
So, Miracles, let me come in. You understand the questions the former president is actually asking borders on the economy. These are relevant questions, and Ghanaians would want to get answers, irrespective of whether the former president would want to have a debate with you or not. Don't you think Ghanaians deserve to know answers?
But who told you the vice president has not been giving these answers to the Ghanaian people? Today he met the transport operators. Today he had a conversation with them, and he had the economic conversation with them. The entire tour that the vice president has been going on, what do you think he's been doing? Who told you he's not been having that conversation with the Ghanaian people? Or the Ghanaian people is the former president? Which of the questions the former president has asked that the vice president has not been talking about with the Ghanaian people? Who said he set the platform for that conversation? Especially when he has refused bluntly, and he's put his tails in between his legs and run away from a debate set up by an independent third party to engage the two of them. And then
all right. So were you also expecting the former president to respond to your 50 questions? Your line is not too clear, but I'm asking, since you are saying that you expect to meet the president at a debate to answer these questions, I'm asking, the 50 questions you ask him to also respond to, on which platform are you expecting him to answer these questions?
The vice president says you come for a debate. That's what he said. You look at the vice president post. He said, come and debate.
All right. Anyway, thank you so much, Miracles, for speaking to us here on Joy News Prime. You're still watching The Prime here with me, Carlos Caloni. We'll take a short break. We'll return with more. Please stay. Welcome back. Now, former rector of GIMPA, Professor Stephen Adai, has called for a radical shift in tackling government corruption, urging that it be treated as a grand felony. Speaking at the 25th anniversary of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, he criticizes the government's failure to take meaningful action against this pervasive issue. There's more in the following report.
Professor Stephen Ade, former rector of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, has openly condemned the rampant corruption in the country, describing it as utterly distasteful. Speaking at the 25th anniversary of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, he expressed his deep dissatisfaction with the stagnation of Ghana's corruption index, arguing that the very machinery of government designed to combat corruption is ironically its primary enabler.
Corruption remains a formidable threat to our nation's development. Illicit enrichment is evident everywhere in this country. And now we have reached a stage where the corrupt act with impunity. The state of corruption in Ghana definitely has worsened since GRI was established. The very institutions which were to take care of the national development and protect the vulnerable are also the most corrupt.
He further adds that leadership in Ghana is failing to eradicate corruption, merely paying lip service to a problem that demands urgent action.
I believe that the way forward is for us to now strategize as to how we will hold not generality but specific leadership individuals accountable for their allowing corruption, so that we follow the president, we follow the minister for finance, and then justice and other things, and make sure that life becomes unlivable if we are going to give away the hell of corruption. Once we have done that, other activities are easier to do. Believe that once the leadership issue is resolved, we have to make grand corruption a felony in Ghana, and must be treated in the same way as we treat murderers, because they do more harm than them.
Mary Awilana Ada, Executive Director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, reiterates her outfit's commitment to promoting anti-corruption measures in the country.
You would realize that in many of the instances there are emotional issues, psychological blackmail. You have people coming at you, physically attacking you. I have been a victim of some of the most nasty bullying on the space, but it doesn't take away the zeal, because we believe in a cause, and that is Ghana. We also have a lot of constraints when it comes to the issue of financing. If we had money, we would do so much more.
Ghana ranks 75 out of 180 countries included in Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index in 2022. The ranking reflects the perceived level of corruption in the public sector among experts and business executives in a given country.
Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol, Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, AICPA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountant, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental, Wellness and Beauty, Chopbox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Now, NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama has promised to complete the Yendi water supply project to provide portable drinking water to residents of Yendi and its surrounding areas. Speaking on the second day of his tour in the northern region, he also pledged to establish a modern district hospital in Yendi. criticizing the government for not including Yendi in the Agenda 111 hospital project. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba reports from day 2 of John Mahama's tour of the area.
On the second day of his tour of the northern region, John Mahama visited the Pandai, Wulensi, Bimbila and Yendi constituencies. Among others in the Pandai constituency, he promised to improve conditions at the Pandai Yam market under the NDC's Market Enhancement Program. Less than 24 hours after John Mahama posed 5 questions saying the NPP presidential candidate, Dr. Bawumia, must answer them just as he once demanded. Answers to 170 statements and claims from then Vice President Mr. Atta, he was back with another set directed at President Akufo-Addo.
We need experience. Bawumia and Nana Addo came with very sweet words. And I asked Nana Addo one question when we were at Pandai. He said, Yetisikaso, I come there. And so I'm giving him one question. Sikano Wenhe, where is the money?
The Bimbila constituency, he talked about the party's promise of a national apprenticeship program that will provide jobs for young people.
Anywhere I go, the question people outside in the world ask me, Ghana, what happened to you? Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana, what happened to you? Ezu, everybody looked up to Ghana as the model of democracy. Today, we are a bad model of democracy. Our judiciary is not independent. All our state institutions have been destroyed. Ezu, people looked up to Ghana as a country that is a model of economic management. Today, our economy is in shambles. You remember what they said? And I remember my younger brother, Bawumia. What did he say? He said, teachers are, nurses are, farmers are, and students, contractors, doctors, and everybody.
John Mahama promised to complete the Yendi water supply project to provide water to the residents and those in adjoining communities.
There are things we're doing on the drawing board for Yendi constituency. When the MPP came, they have refused to continue. One is the Yendi water system. It's supposed to take water from the river here at Sabari, feed all the communities, including Nani, all the way to Yendi, and give all of them water.
Now, on the flip side, Vice President Dr. Bawumia has urged the Ghana Police Service to ensure peace, transparency and order during December's general election. At a commissioning ceremony on October 30, where more than 400 officers were promoted to Assistant Superintendent of Police, ASP, at the National Police Training School here in Accra, Dr. Bawumia stressed the critical role the police play in safeguarding democracy and maintaining public trust. The Vice President, who is also the chairman of the Police Council, commended the service's dedication to managing past elections and its contributions to peace and stability. However, he cautioned against complacency, urging officers to remain vigilant, given current security challenges and heightened political tensions.
As for this year's election, it is important to take stock and know that we have been here and done it before. Since 1992, we have succeeded in organizing election after election, and this year's election will be no different. We as a nation have become good at it. With the police at the center of our election security task force, we are assured of a successful 2024 general election. However, we must not be complacent and rest on our previous achievements, for every election presents its own nuanced situation. We are, however, confident of the professionalism of the police. The police is always at the center of elections security in Ghana, and it is important that officers act responsibly. The neutral, fair, and firm election policing that we have witnessed in before should be reasons for optimism. The good conduct of officers during the recent voter registration and exhibition exercises also provide a great blueprint and confidence for the main elections. The Ghana Police Service, you have done it before, and we are counting on you to do it again. By maintaining high professional standards in the discharge of your duties, you are setting the perfect tone for the nation to follow in delivering a peaceful and incident-free general election.
Well, that's all we have. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. My name is Carlos Caloni. Thank you so much for watching. Prime Business is up next.